Hey there everyone, Juan Romero here from Switch Watch, and I'll be heading up the Nintendo Switch Bargain Series where we pick up 10 games every single week at bargain prices which we think you will enjoy. James unfortunately needs to take a break for the foreseeable future. I'll give you some more information at the end. He wanted to pass on a message to all of you ladies and gentlemen that have followed us for a long time. But for now, let's check out these 10 bargains. Let's start today then with my pick of the week, which is Blasphemous. I absolutely love this game. I own it physically. Any of the games that are available physically will put a link in the description for you to be able to purchase it. This is challenging. It's a non-linear world to explore, and this has combat which is brutal. You can customize your build. You can equip relics, rosary beads, prayers, and sword hearts. There's loads of combinations for you to find the best playstyle for you, which is what I really liked about it. The boss battles are absolutely epic. It's just a great game at a bargain price. Now, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is a fantastic little 2.5D adventure. Really enjoyed this one. It's beautiful. It's got rich visuals and loads of detail and depth. It looks really good when you're playing it on your Nintendo Switch. Now, you get to explore and unlock more of the levels by completing objectives and puzzles, and there's also alternate level states. If you've got a level figured out, you can try it in its alternate state, flip the switches in the overworld, create new landscapes. I really enjoyed this one. It's fun for all the family. Youngsters can play it as well as adults and enjoy yourselves on this one. It really is a fantastic game, and if you like these types of platformers, then with the price it is at this moment in time, an absolute bargain. Next up, we have Jordan with his pick of the week. I've got no doubt that he's going with something a little rhythmic. Jordan, what have you got for us?
Hey everyone, it's Jordan here with my bargain of the week. Now, I've chosen this one a couple of times over the years, but it's been a while, so I would like to remind you all that Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun is a magnificent game. If you enjoy rhythm, you will enjoy this. Packed to the rafters with incredibly fun songs to play in simple gameplay. Now, obviously, it's much better if you have the drum peripheral, but still, there's fun to be had with the buttons and touchscreen. I'm not a huge fan of DLC in general, but I do recommend picking up some of the DLC as well, especially the Studio Ghibli songs if you're a fan of those movies. Essential. Anyways, it's 80% off in the US, just $10. It's an absolute steal. Buy it immediately.
Super Bomberman R, one of the early games on the Nintendo Switch, has a lovely 85% off right now in the UK and in Europe. Unfortunately, you don't get the same discount in the US. It's a simple affair. Classic gameplay is back, and as you might expect, single player is okay, but here what is great is that multiplayer, one of the original party games, just as good today in its revamped skin. If you enjoy games like Overcooked, we'll talk about that later, that's also on sale, then Moving Out is going to be for you. It's very much along the same lines in terms of looks and gameplay. The premise here, though, is that you're a moving company. You visit different buildings and you need to get stuff out of the building delivered to new places in the best possible way at best time. It's really simple to pick up and play without too much of a challenge. Well, I find it challenging. I find all of these types of games challenging, and to be honest with you, I lose my temper quite a lot because I find them quite frustrating. But I know a lot of people love multiplayer in these types of games, and with the sale it has on at this moment in time, why not give it a try if this is your thing? Now, Rive is an absolutely epic game on the Nintendo Switch, and it has a huge discount, 90% off at the moment. You can pick this up for just £1.34, £1.49 in the UK and in Europe. Unfortunately for our friends in the US, not quite so much discount. However, you can buy these games from other stores internationally, and that's not an issue at all if you set up an account in those countries. I'll put a little guide in the description for you so you can work out how to do that. But Rive is a twin stick shooter, so smooth, lovely visuals, and I very much couldn't get enough when this hit the Nintendo Switch. It's fast-paced action, really smooth at 60 frames per second. You really can't go wrong. If you love your twin stick shooters, give this one a go because it's less than the price of a coffee, especially here in the UK. Play this with your friends, play it with your wives, play it with your kids, play it with whoever, because this is where you have the most fun with Overcooked 2. Local co-op is great. You can play up to 4 players, and the goal is, of course, to serve up dishes by collaborating to customers. One of you chops while the other prepares the food and serves. It's simple, it's fast, and it gets complicated rather quickly. It's another one of those games where I end up throwing the Switch outside the window. But for those of you that have patience, then Overcooked has a great price right now. One of those fantastic party games, brilliant game to pick up now that it's on sale. This War of Mine has a ridiculously low price at the moment, 95% off. Very apt in this day and age with what's going on in the world. This War of Mine is a war game, not in the typical big gory adrenaline rush sense. Instead, your goal is simply to survive through tough choices, harrowing experiences. It really peels back that Hollywood style veneer and exposes the real grim reality of war. Now, normal people push to extremes here in order to survive, and in this horrifying and gloomy sense, it does set the scene very well. In a sense, it's a darker version of Sims, and the effect your choices have on your character is pretty fascinating. If you steal or murder someone, your character looks guilty and can even lead them to suicide. Yes, it is very dark, very adult. It's a unique title that is very grim, yet enjoyable. A bargain at this moment if you want to check it out. Now, if you're someone who likes indie games, and bearing in mind that this actual list has quite a lot of indie games this week, then Children of Mortar for me is one of the best out there. Fantastic. I reviewed this on the channel. If you want more information, I'll put a link in the description above. But it has 70% off in all regions. Absolute bargain if you haven't tried this already. Your job here is to protect Mortar. You have a whole family to do it, full of different characters with varying different play styles in this awesome roguelike dungeon crawler. And the story is told by a narrator who has one of those voices that's instantly gonna draw you in. The visuals are great, epic soundtrack, and the icing is definitely on the cake with those visuals and soundtrack here. It's an extremely compelling and playable title, and this has made our top indie games lists for a long time. It's always up there. So if you haven't played it, make sure you add this one to your collection now. Lastly for today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 Road to Boruto. What a mouthful that is, but it has 70% off in all regions. If you haven't picked this one up, man, you have to do it. If you love Naruto the anime, this is a fantastic franchise, a real great game that's been ported to the Nintendo Switch. Usually, a lot of the time when they do a movie or anime, sometimes the games don't live up to expectations, but here it certainly does. I mean, the trilogy package for the first through 3 games was fantastic. I reviewed that. I'll put both links up above because I reviewed the trilogy, one of our best performing videos ever with over 400,000 views. Thank you so much, guys. And I reviewed the fourth too. And now the port itself doesn't have anything extra on the Nintendo Switch. It's the original game, but it was rather chunky, which is why they did this as a separate game. It's a really solid roster though of characters, plenty of lore to uncover as you play, and the mechanics have been tweaked a little. It's a really, really enjoyable game. Now, it was expensive at first, but for the price now, absolutely brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still watching, thank you so much. I want to thank all of our members who continue to support our channel every month. Brilliant, thank you. And as I say, all of our subscribers, thank you for your support. Now, I did say that I had a message from James. As you know, he is my family. He's my cousin. James had, his wife was pregnant with twins, and the pregnancy was complex from the beginning, a bunch of complications. And unfortunately, those complications came to the fore, and the 2 babies were born very prematurely at 24 weeks, which is sort of one of the minimum time spans that babies can survive. Now, luckily for us, we have some of the best hospitals and doctors in the world for this type of thing, so they're in great care. They've survived their first week, but of course it's precarious, and one of the babies has had some major complications which he has come through. So we are giving James all of our strength, all of our love to hopefully get those babies to survive, and that's what we're sort of looking for and hoping for. It's a tough time at the moment, but he wanted to sort of, give you that information. It's a real tough time for him and his wife. He's had to move into the hospital full time, and that is a time span, if the children do survive, which we're all positive that they will, that he's going to be there for at least 4 to 6 months. Now, he did say that obviously he loves making videos, and if he does get any time, he will be back. But for the foreseeable future, Jordan and I giving him our full support, of course, and we just want him to concentrate on making sure that his family is okay. So he wanted to relay that message. He didn't just want to say, he was off for family matters or personal matters or whatever. He wanted just to be open and honest, like we've always been on this channel, super transparent. And for those of you that have supported us for the last 5 years, he loves all of you. He thanks you, and he's just very preoccupied with his family at the moment. So let's give him that space, let's give him that strength and support and prayer to make sure that his baby twins make it through this tough time, because it's very upsetting for all of us, but we're sure we'll do everything we can to make sure that he has all the support he needs. I want to thank you so much again for being here for us and supporting us, and we just wanted to relay that information. That's why the videos have sort of not been making so many lately, because we've just had a lot going on, and Jordan has been an absolute superstar in carrying the channel. So thank you so much to everybody. Take care. I'll see you next week with another Bargains video. Take care, everyone. See you soon.